One of the resources that I really like when I'm trying to do an activity to get students to practice something, um, this works really well for vocabulary. It can also work well for math if you have things that simplify down to one answer. So, equations or simplifying expressions. The website is called Quizlet, but the specific thing that I really like in here is Quizlet Live. And what that does is it takes what you're working on and it turns it into a game for the students. And it makes them talk and communicate and work together because they split up all of the possible answers on the team's screens. So all the answers are out there, but they have to talk and work together to figure out who has the correct answer, what is the correct answer, do they agree that that's a correct answer? And if they get it incorrect, it shows them the correct answer so they can learn and figure it out for later on. With this, you could sign in. It's free to create a profile. I just sign in with my Google account, so I don't have to worry about logins and passwords. You can create classes, like I have my own folders over here just to keep myself organized. But if I go through, I'll show you an example of one of the activities or the sets that I've used in my class before. With my eighth graders, we're working on solving equations. It's multi-step equations. We want to throw as many different things that we can out there. So what it looks like is they have your terms in this set. You have your equation and your the answer over here. So a lot of times it's set up as words and definitions. That's why it's kind of meant for vocabulary, but it has other purposes too. And if you come up to the top, they have a few different things, like the kids could work on it on their own. They could have flashcards made up so they could practice them if it was a memorization thing. But this Quizlet Live is the part that I really enjoy with my students. And if you click on the Quizlet Live, it will end up giving you a few different options. As always, with the free websites, there's ways that you can upgrade and pay a little more. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit create game. And the free version is it gives them the definition, which is what I want in this case, because that's where I have my equation. And these answer choices for all of the questions that are given to the teams, they'll be spread between all of the screens. So they all have to figure out kind of who has the correct answer again. So you hit let's play, and the kids just sign in with this. They don't need to sign in with any identifying information, which is big with the new laws that just passed in Connecticut. So it's just the number that they have to sign in. It's got some pretty upbeat, peppy music. Some of my students like it. Sometimes they find it very annoying. But the students would then sign in and be able to play the game. And they really enjoy it. Some of them kind of huff and puff in the beginning, but once it starts going, they get really into it. And if I go back to the beginning, so we don't have this annoying noise, you can search for ones that are already created and then modify from there. You could create your own set of words or definitions or problems that are specific to what you're working on, but it's something that is really helpful for kind of those more boring rote memorization activities that we have to have our students be able to do because it's criteria that needs to be met, but just kind of are boring for us to teach and boring for them to learn. This activity or this website goes along with ISTE Standard 7B. It's a way for you to be able to do a formative or summative assessment and see where are the students at, what are the things they're still struggling with. At the end, it'll give you kind of a breakdown. Here are the words that people struggled with most, or here were the topics that they seem to get really quickly and not have a problem with. It also goes with ISTE Standard 5B, which is creating an authentic learning activity that has deep active learning. And this, I think, definitely gets to that deep level of learning because they have to communicate and talk with each other. And it kind of turns into debates and arguments, which are all things that we're trying to get our students to do. And this fosters it in a very natural way. So if it goes with pretty much any subject, there's ways to use it in math. I know the science teacher at my school loves this. There's English and language arts. That's a huge thing because you have all those vocab words. So there's a lot of different applications that this could be used for.